Ever found yourself frustrated with your iPhone because it's just not working the way it should? Maybe your battery is draining faster than a sinkhole, or your device refuses to charge no matter how many times you plug and unplug it. Perhaps your screen has decided to freeze at the most inconvenient times, or your iPhone is getting hotter than a summer's day in the Sahara. If you're nodding in agreement, this video is just for you. A common complaint among iPhone users is that their battery drains too quickly. It's a frustration we've all faced at one point or another, so let's dive right in and discover why this happens and what you can do about it. The life of your iPhone's battery is influenced by a variety of factors. For instance, if your screen brightness is constantly set to maximum, it can use a substantial amount of power. The same goes for dynamic backgrounds, which are those lovely moving images on your home or lock screen. They can be a feast for the eyes, but they're a feast for your battery too. And then there's the issue of apps running in the background. We all love multitasking, but your iPhone might be doing a bit too much of it. Every app that's open is using a bit of battery power, even if you're not actively using it. If you've got dozens of apps open, that can add up quickly. But don't worry, there's plenty you can do to combat these battery-draining culprits. Firstly, try adjusting your screen brightness. There's often no need to have it at full blast, especially when you're indoors. You'd be surprised at how much battery life you can save just by dimming your screen a bit. Next, consider turning off those dynamic backgrounds. Yes, they're attractive, but static images can be just as beautiful, and they won't drain your battery. And finally, get into the habit of closing apps that you're not using. It's simple to do. Just double-click the home button or swipe up from the bottom of the screen, then swipe away the apps you don't need open. To take it a step further, you can even check which apps are using the most battery in your settings. Just go to Settings, then Battery, and you'll see a list of apps and their battery usage. If you notice any particular culprits, consider limiting your use of them or look for battery-friendly alternatives. So by following these steps, you can extend your iPhone's battery life. And that means less time tethered to the charger and more time enjoying your device. Another issue that you might have come across is your iPhone not charging. It's a common problem and one that can cause a lot of frustration. But don't worry, we're here to help you troubleshoot this issue and get your device back up and running. Firstly, let's consider the most obvious culprit, the charging cable. It's easy to overlook, but a damaged or faulty cable can often be the root cause of charging problems. Check your cable thoroughly, looking for any visible signs of wear and tear. If you find any fraying, cuts, or other damage, it might be time to replace your cable. Next, let's turn our attention to the charging port itself. Debris and dust can build up over time, potentially blocking the connection between your device and the charger. A simple way to clean your charging port is by using a soft, dry toothbrush or a can of compressed air. However, it's important to be gentle to avoid causing any further damage. Now, if you've checked your cable and cleaned your charging port, but you're still facing issues, it might be worth trying a different power source. If you've been using a wall outlet, try switching to a USB port on your computer, or vice versa. Sometimes the issue might not be with your device or charger, but with the power source itself. Remember, it's always a good idea to use original Apple chargers and cables, or at least ones that are certified by Apple. Using non-certified accessories can lead to a host of problems, including slow charging, battery drain, and even potential damage to your device. Finally, if you've tried all these steps and you're still facing charging issues, it might be time to consider a more serious problem. Your battery could be at the end of its lifespan, or there might be an issue with your device's charging system. In this case, it's probably best to contact Apple support or take your device to an authorized service center. These simple steps can potentially solve any charging issues with your iPhone. Remember, the key is to be patient and methodical in your troubleshooting. Don't rush, and you'll increase your chances of finding the solution. A frozen screen can be incredibly frustrating, especially when you're in the middle of something important. So, Why does an iPhone screen freeze? Well, there could be several reasons. One common cause is an overworked processor, which might occur if you're running too many apps at once. Another cause could be a software glitch, especially if you're using an app that hasn't been updated in a while. Sometimes it's due to a lack of storage space, or it could be a sign that your iPhone is in dire need of an update. Now that we've covered the potential reasons, let's delve into the solutions. One of the first things you can try to resolve a frozen screen is performing a hard reset. This is like a power cycle for your iPhone, and it can often clear up temporary software issues. For an iPhone 8 or later, you'll want to quickly press and release the volume up button, then the volume down button, and then press and hold the side button until you see the Apple logo. If you're using an iPhone 7 or earlier, you'll want to hold down both the top or side button and the volume down button at the same time until you see the Apple logo. If that doesn't work, you might want to consider updating your iPhone software. Sometimes, a frozen screen is a sign that your software is outdated, and updating it can resolve the issue. To do this, you'll need to navigate to Settings, then General, and finally Software Update. If all else fails, you may need to restore your iPhone to factory settings. This should be your last resort, as it will erase all data on your device. But don't worry, if you've been regularly backing up your iPhone, you can restore all your data after the factory reset. By following these steps, you can unfreeze your iPhone screen and continue using your device as normal. Remember, if these solutions don't work, it might be time to consult an expert or visit your nearest Apple store. Is your iPhone feeling like a hot brick in your hand? You're not alone. Overheating is one of the issues that can plague even the most modern iPhones. But why does this happen and what can you do about it? First, let's talk about why your iPhone might be overheating. The most common culprit is usually the processor. When you're using power-intensive apps, the processor works harder, generating more heat. This is particularly true for games with heavy graphics or when you're using your phone for extended periods. Another factor that can cause your iPhone to overheat is its environment. Your iPhone is designed to operate in a certain temperature range. If it's exposed to extreme heat, such as direct sunlight on a hot day, it can start to overheat. Even the simple act of charging can cause your iPhone to heat up. This is especially true if your iPhone is in a case, as it can trap the heat being produced. Now that we know the causes, let's discuss the solutions. First and foremost, if your iPhone is overheating while charging, consider removing it from its case. This allows the heat to dissipate more effectively. Next, be mindful of your iPhone's environment. Try to keep it out of direct sunlight and avoid exposing it to extreme temperatures. This includes not leaving it in a hot car or near a heat source. Finally, limit the use of power-intensive apps, especially if you notice your iPhone heating up. If you're playing a graphics-heavy game for hours on end, consider taking breaks to let your iPhone cool down. You can also close apps running in the background that you're not actively using, as these can drain your battery and cause your iPhone to heat up. By taking these precautions, you can keep your iPhone cool and functioning optimally. Remember, a cooler iPhone is a happier, more efficient iPhone. It's not just about comfort, it's about maintaining the longevity and performance of your device. So don't let your iPhone turn into a hot brick. Keep it cool and carry on. So, we've covered some of the most common iPhone issues and their solutions. Firstly, we dove into the all-too-common issue of the battery draining too quickly. We discussed how the key to extending your iPhone's battery life lies in adjusting your settings. From dimming your screen brightness to turning off background app, refresh and push email, these simple tweaks can make a world of difference. Next, we tackled the frustrating problem of an iPhone not charging. We discovered that the solution could be as simple as cleaning out the charging port or trying a different charging cable. Remember, small actions can lead to big results. Then, we moved on to the unnerving experience of a frozen screen. We learned that a hard reset could be your best friend in these situations. Just a quick combination of pressing and releasing certain buttons can bring your iPhone back to life. After that, we addressed the issue of an overheating iPhone. We found out that avoiding direct sunlight, closing unused apps, and even removing the phone case can help prevent your device from getting too hot. Remember, most iPhone issues can be solved at home with these simple steps. But if issues persist, it's best to consult with a professional. There's no harm in seeking expert advice when needed. After all, a well-functioning iPhone is essential in our digitally connected world.